such a significant evening and to ask that we bring the quilt along with us this evening. I suppose once we're kind of finished, maybe I'd encourage you all just to take a little bit of time with the quilt. It's one, as Paul mentioned, it's one of 10. There's 49 squares in each of them. And each one is made by families who've lost someone during the conflict. And tonight's panel includes the square to Kathleen Thompson. You see it there, just the third row from the top, and it's the third one in from the right. And you'll see how beautiful it is. It's designed by the Thompson family, and it includes Kathleen's own rosary ring and a little symbol of her dancing shoes. The rosary ring is stitched in, and I suppose it's really important because it asks us to spend a moment in prayer and thought to think about the importance of not how Kathleen was killed, but the life that was lost. Just the beautiful and wonderful human being that she was, and how she's remembered with such love. And you can see that stitched into every part of it, including the Celtic weaving that's on it. On the panel, you'll see that there are other squares. So brothers and sisters beside Kathleen include Thomas Maccabee, the hunger striker, Brian Stewart killed with a plastic bullet, and McGee from North Belfast, a child killed in a shop as she served. There's people who are affected by shoot to kill, there's people affected by collusion. There's no hierarchy. There's no sense that you don't get the sense in the circumstances in which someone was killed. You get a sense in which a family grieved, a family miss a human being, a citizen, someone with dignity who was taken away from them, and how they remember. And that's what's important, because while the circumstances in which they were killed was very grievous, so difficult, and so many families face into the implications of that, they are remembered with so much love and so much compassion. And the important thing is that all families recognise each other's dignity, compassion and loss. And I know that there are other family members here today from other families who will also be missing their loved ones. And as you remember one victim of the conflict, you also think about the loss of your own family member as well. And I just want to acknowledge that and say thank you for coming along with that as well. I suppose it's really important first to acknowledge that the Thompson family, when they lost Kathleen, never gave up. As Paul said, they demanded truth, justice and acknowledgement. And they set legal standards. And they shone a light for other families to fall in. Losing a mummy was really unusual during the conflict. Only 9% of those killed during our conflict were women and girls. And only 4% were mothers. So the experience of losing a mother was lonely, it was very difficult. And the Thompson family have, despite what must have been an unimaginable and egregious experience, they have still shared their experience with all of us, shared their courage and shared their hope. And that's something for which we should all be grateful for and thank them for this evening on the 50th anniversary as well. I want to say that, we don't stand here out of context either. All the families who are standing here, and the Thompson family, and us as NGOs, the Catholic Centre of Relatives for Justice, we stand here in the context of a very dark time in terms of the opportunities for victims and survivors being closed down by the British government. And we can take for granted the sound bites around victims and survivors, or the debate on the past, or dealing with the past, or even the term legacy. What it is about human beings and their dignity, and how the British government, having spent years and years of denial and cover-up and all the things that we knew that they were engaged in, they also pretended that they cared. They also pretended that they cared about international human rights law. And now, in order to protect their own interests, they are willing to tear that up. And that isn't just about them. That is about every single family, whether they were affected by the British state or by any of the non-state actors. They affect each and every one of those families, their friends, and all of the generations that have come afterwards. And they're willing to do that to protect their own interests. But the one message is that families, despite facing into this very dark time, and it's only days away, will never give up. Each and every family is saying, this too will pass. Human rights are our rights. International human rights law is written for us, and they will see this through. And they need the support and solidarity of everyone. And it's fantastic to see the political representation here this evening and 2 MPs. And we also know that there's been strong statements. If anyone was at the Mass, you have heard incredible words from the priests and the Catholic Church overall, and from the Irish government. But we need that coordinated, concerted effort. We need all of those voices, and Irish America never giving up the way that families are never giving up, and ensure that people work together. The same effort that was brought to Brexit and the other threats that we faced in the past number of years must be put into the defence of the rights of victims and survivors, the families that you see on this panel, and families right across our region, and the people we know and love. So I'm going to finish on that with great thanks for the opportunity to speak, and with extend our solidarity to all families here, and in particular the Thompson family.